chickens! Today we're going to talk about building with slabs and using a template. You can use paper templates of any style or design and any shape. For these pieces, it needs to have a flat bottom because it's going to stand up on this side. You need to cut out your template. Today we're using the slab roller to make our slabs, so we need to prepare the clay. I'm combining about 5 or 6 chunks of clay from the clay bin so that I can make one large sheet to cut my templates out of. You could use a rolling pin at this point and roll out a flat slab, but I'm going to be using the slab roller. I'm going to put my sheet in the middle of the canvas, and it's going to stretch this horizontal piece longer and wider. I like to leave a good 2 or 3 inches of lead up in the fold that's going to go into the slab roller first, and then there's plenty of room behind the slab so that it can stretch along that length. So I'm going to put the chunk of clay up to the edge of the rollers, and I'm going to guide it through. The slab roller is set to 3/8 inch thickness. Do not manipulate the thickness of the slab roller. Then we're going to roll it back out the other direction. Ta-da! It's a slab. Carefully lift it up with 2 hands and carry it over to your wood tabletop. For ceramic street cred, you got to smooth off that canvas texture. That is a must. So smooth it off both sides, and then we're going to cut out our templates in this big chunk of slab. I'm using the needle tool because it's the easiest way to draw lines and cut straight edges, and I'm cutting straight down. For this project, I need 2 copies of this template. That's going to be the front and the back of the house sculpture. Be sure and reuse your scraps. There's no need to throw these in the chum bucket. That's very wasteful when you can reuse them to build your walls. So grab them up, re-wedge them, and re-roll them. Woohoo! So this time I need to make a long, skinny slab that I'm going to use to build my walls around the house. So I manipulate the clay into like a longer piece that I'm going to roll and stretch longer. The slab roller is really good at stretching slabs long, but not necessarily wide. It's a really awesome tool. Be sure that you smooth off any canvas texture with a rib. This is a must do. All right, time to get technical. We need to trim some long, consistent walls that are all the same height or depth or width, depending on the dimension of your piece. I like to build my things about 3 or 4 inches in this width. So by using the long ruler to cut one square flat edge, then I'm using the shorter ruler to measure 3 inches across. Then I connect my little dots and cut them off. You want to be careful with your measuring here. I'm making sure to double check that it's 3 inches all the way across. Now it's time to miter the edges. I'm just taking the needle tool and carefully cutting off the corner all the way around my slab templates. This creates a 45-degree angle. And I like to save these little corner pieces for future use. You'll see. So you're going to be cutting these edges off of all your little slabs, all the templates and all the walls you're going to build, because a mitered edge is a stronger, wider surface to score and attach slabs together. Here we go, trimming the edge of this big long strip that I'm going to cut into my walls. Now, I'm not a super precise kind of person, but for this project, you need to actually do a little bit of measuring. In order to have a nice square edge, you really have to do a good job of cutting 45-degree corners, scoring, and attaching pieces that fit well together. And if all goes well, your 45s will come together to create a perfect 90-degree angle. What I like about building this way is I get to do custom fits. So now I'm going to cut this corner off of the standing slab so that it's a perfect 45 degrees to match with the next slab that's going to come and meet it. Scoring alone isn't going to really hold this thing well together, so I use a little insurance by smooshing either a little coil or that little triangle that I cut off of the edge of the slab to fill in those little gaps and give my walls a little extra support. So what's not pictured here is I rolled a few extra pieces to make walls, and I had all those little parts prepared. By cutting lots of long strips, then I can cut each of those walls customly to the right length that I need. Be sure and put a little chunk of clay down in those corners, a little coil or a little piece, just to help support the walls. This is going to be a little insurance to prevent any cracking and splitting down the road. Like I said, this is the kind of construction I really enjoy, where I'm custom fitting each little piece of slab together. This ain't your grandpa's woodworking. This is ceramic slab building. All right, if you've done everything correctly, all your walls should be the exact same height and fitting together with perfect 45-degree corners, mitered edges, looking clean. It's all supported. So it's time to prepare the top. You're gonna have to miter the box and miter the lid. This is actually gonna become the wall. Everything is topsy-turvy in this demo. At the end of the day, the scraps from this hand building project are still usable. Don't throw them in the slop bucket, throw them in the pug mill. Fast forward to the project here, I've scored all the edges that I'm going to attach, and I also painted some yellow slip on the inside of my piece because I'm going to put a light inside and I want it to be very bright when the light is shining inside the piece. Don't forget to use a little slip, and now here's the tricky part. We're going to take this slab and match it up with the other sides. It's going to take a little futzing and it's going to be a little scary, but you can do this. We're going to kind of find those edges and really smoosh them together. We can't support this on the inside with extra clay, so that's why I use slip, and I'm really being careful to push together those edges. Slabs like to crack and split apart, so it's important to be extra kind to them and help them come together. All right, time for the big finale. When I stand the piece up, wow! So the lid became the wall in this case. You don't have to turn your piece on its side. I just think it's kind of a cool thing you can do. Sometimes you'll see a little sagging, a little saggage in your slabbage. So what I'm gonna do is I put a hole in the bottom, put this little thing, and I'm gonna blow it up like a balloon. Poof! And it's just gonna puff up that saggy slabby, and then I'm gonna stand them up. Skis. So there you have it. That's some slab construction. This piece is gonna need a lot more refining and cat licking and decorating, but at least we got them built skis.